The time is 9 o'clock, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Unasikiliza CHMA 106.9 FM katika Sackville, New Brunswick.
And now the weather. Today, mainly cloudy, clearing earlier this morning, wind becoming west 20 kilometers an hour earlier this morning, then becoming northwest 20, gusting to 40 this afternoon. High -9, wind chill -22 earlier this morning, -17 this afternoon. UV index 1 or low. Tonight, clear. Wind west 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40, low of -18. Wind chill -18 this evening, -25 overnight. Tomorrow, Thursday, January 29th, sunny. Wind becoming west 20 kilometers an hour earlier in the morning, high -10. Wind chill -28 in the morning, -15 in the afternoon. Risk of frostbite, UV index 1 or low. Thursday night, cloudy, 60% chance of flurries, low -12. Friday, January 30th, flurries, high -5. Friday night, flurries, low -10.
And here is your CHMA Atlantic update for Wednesday, January 28th. Many flights were delayed out of Halifax Airport as a massive winter storm lingered over most of Nova Scotia and eastern PEI before heading into Newfoundland and Labrador. Environment Canada says eastern Newfoundland expected upwards of 25 centimeters of snow and wind gusts up to 80 kilometers per hour in eastern Labrador, which created blowing snow and reduced visibility. Aviation analytics firm Cirium says Halifax saw 10% of departures cancelled, while St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador topped 22% as snow continued to blast the island. Plane tracking firm FlightAware says Canada's traveling to or from Dallas, Boston, New York City or Washington, D.C. face a greater risk of disruption. It says 35 to 40% of departures from certain airports in those cities have been cancelled or delayed. St. John, New Brunswick is considering bylaw changes designed to tackle what the city calls quote-unquote nuisance behaviors. The changes would deal with things like loitering, soliciting, vandalism, and littering along with public urination and defecation. If approved, fines would range from $140 to $2,100. The changes passed first and second reading Monday night, but Council expressed concern that homeless residents may be unfairly targeted. Nova Scotia is set to reach its target of relying on 80% renewable energy by 2030, mainly through new onshore wind farms. The province's Deputy Minister of the Department of Energy, Karen Ketien, said Tuesday that 5 new wind farms would be completed by the end of 2026, and another 4 are on track to be completed by 2028. The province says that together, these wind farms could create close to 1,000 megawatts of energy. The province is also hoping to launch a request for development bids for the offshore Wind West project this summer. A man and a woman are facing charges after a pair of taxis were stolen in Antigonish, Nova Scotia last week. The 2 Dodge Caravans went missing last Thursday and were recovered the next day, one in Mulgrave, the other in Stellarton. While police are still investigating the taxi found in Mulgrave, RCMP say a tip led them to the Stellarton van and they arrested the pair at the scene. A 31-year-old woman and a 45-year-old man have each been charged with possession of property obtained by crime worth more than $5,000 and will appear in court in March. The man convicted of murdering Chantel John in Corn River, Newfoundland and Labrador 7 years ago has dropped his appeal. Kirk Keeping made a virtual court appearance from a New Brunswick prison Tuesday, saying he plans to drop the appeal of his second-degree murder conviction. Keeping killed John in the Miapukek First Nation in January 2019. He was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 16 years in 2024 and appealed shortly afterwards. A 23-year-old man is facing multiple charges for allegedly assaulting 2 RCMP officers in Labrador. Police say they were called to a disturbance at a home in the far northern town of Nain on Sunday when the man resisted arrest and assaulted an officer. He was found to be breaching release conditions along with his probation order and had an outstanding arrest warrant. In the detachment cell block, he allegedly assaulted another RCMP member, causing serious injuries that required treatment in the hospital. And that is all for CHMA's Atlantic Update for Wednesday, January 28th.
Hi, it's JC.
Hi, it's Hannah.
Hi, it's Craig.
Hi, it's Diego.
Hi, it's Ailey.
And you're listening to CHMA.
And now the weather. Today, Jan 28th, mainly cloudy, clearing this morning, wind becoming west 20 kilometers per hour this morning, then becoming northwest 20, gusting to 40 this afternoon. High of -9, wind chill -22 this morning, and -17 this afternoon. UV index 1 or low. Tonight, clear. Wind west 20 kilometers per hour, gusting to 40. Low of -18. Wind chill -18 this evening and -25 overnight. Thursday, sunny. Wind becoming west 20 kilometers per hour in the morning. High of -10. Wind chill -28 in the morning and -15 in the afternoon. Risk of frostbite. UV index 1 or low. At night, cloudy with 60% chance of flurries and a low of -12. Friday, Jan 30th, flurries. High of -5 and at night, flurries, low of -10.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
2 of 4 semifinalists have been decided in the Australian Open. On the women's side of the bracket, Ariana Sabalenka, the number 1 overall seed, advances with a 6-3, 6-love victory. And Elena Svitolina from Ukraine defeats American Coco Gauff in straight sets to advance as well and to the semifinals. Over on the men's side, it is number 1 overall seed Carlos Alcaraz, who has advanced to the semifinals to face off against the German Alex Zverev, with the other 2 semifinalists to be determined between Musetti and Djokovic, 4 and 5 seeds, and Shelton and Sinner, the number 2 and 8 seeds on the men's side of the draw. In NBA action yesterday, the Atlanta Hawks in an afternoon game defeated the Indiana Pacers at home, 132-116. It was the Hornets by 37 over the visiting Philadelphia 76ers, 130-93. Cavaliers defeat the Magic, 114-98. The Celtics beat the visiting Trailblazers, 102-94. Lakers with the 11-point victory over Chicago in the United Center in Chicago, 129-118. Rockets defeat the Grizzlies by a strong second half, 108-99. And the Minnesota Timberwolves defeat the shorthanded Golden State Warriors, 108-83. In NHL action, just 4 games yesterday, the Lightning play the Utah Mammoth at home, and they get their 33rd win of the season with the 2-0 shutout. The Rangers come back to tie and then defeat the Boston Bruins in overtime in a Regional 6 battle, 4-3 final there. Islanders shut out the Flyers on the road, 4-0 final in Philly, and it was the Edmonton Oilers with a 7-4 victory over the Anaheim Ducks at home. Looking to the high school level of stuff, the first place Tantramar varsity basketball women's Titans, they go 3-0 over the weekend and will go up against Miramichi Valley this Friday. at home to decide who will have first place in the standings.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary.
Hi, I'm Don from 3DM Crafts, and you're listening to CHMA.
Hello, friends. Welcome once again to the second half of the late morning show with your host, Siley. Here are a couple of exciting events for you all to look forward to. Today, Mount Allison's Indigenous Speaker Series welcomes award-winning Mi'kmaq quill artist Melissa Peter Paul for a talk on the history of Mi'kmaq quill work from 6 to 8 p.m. in Crabtree M14 at Mount Allison University. Also, today is Packtown's Winter Trivia Night. It's happening from 7 to 9 p.m. and today's topic is going to be 3 mini rounds, anime, Harry Potter, and wine. This is being hosted by Marcy and Jenna. Door cover is set at a minimum of $2.5 donation. Next up, friends, you can also look forward to another trivia happening at Ducky's tomorrow, where Ducky's is once again launching its every other Thursday trivia night from 7 to 9 p.m. Trivia is taking over Ducky's with a special prize for both the top scoring team and the group with the best team name. So creativity is something that really counts. The evening is hosted by Luke Poire, one of the owners and your host for the night, and everyone is encouraged to come early. So friends, do bring in your coolest, smartest friends and be a part of a lively night at Ducky's. Also, friends, on Thursday, you can head over to the Amherst Theatre to watch the film Bad Shabos, organized by the Sackville Film Society from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Directed by Daniel Robbins, the film follows an interfaith-engaged couple as they plan a Shabbat dinner for the first meeting of their parents, only to have an unexpected death interrupt their carefully laid out plans. Tickets are available at the box office with 6-pack punch cards for $66 and single admissions for $12. Also, friends, last but not the very least, there is a Ducky's open mic night, which happens every other Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m., which turns Saturday afternoons at Ducky's into stage time for local performers. Starting off on Saturday, the pub opens its stage to acoustic musicians, poets, comedians, and anyone with something creative to share. Ducky's loves to celebrate local talent and good energy, and audience members have the great chance to come and perform, cheer on friends, or just simply relax. Only acoustic acts are allowed, and performers are invited to bring their best tunes, words, and laughs, while Ducky's will provide all of the techie stuff. And now, folks, let us dive into some more tunes here, and I hope that you all have been enjoying the late morning show, here only on CHMA. Join the Moving Forward Trails Committee for a guided winter trail walk on February 8th. This walk is family friendly and will be followed by a bonfire, marshmallows, hot dogs, and hot chocolate. Those interested can meet at 8th Station Road in Dorchester at 11 a.m. Everyone is more than welcome. Gallery and Struts Gallery present The Sweetest Little Thing, their 27th annual fundraising art auction on Saturday, February 14th at 7 p.m. at the Owens Art Gallery. Every dollar raised goes directly to supporting programming at both galleries. At the heart of the event is a silent auction featuring artworks donated by local, regional, and national artists with close connections to the galleries and the community. Guests are invited to wear their fanciest outfits, visit the Instant Love and Photo booth, and enjoy dancing, karaoke, a scavenger hunt, a raffle for an epic cake donated by Cranewood on Main, plenty of sweets, and a few other surprises. Online bidding opens on Friday, February 6th at 9 a.m. at www.cchma.org.
sweetestlittlething.ca, and detailed venue access information is available on Owen's Art Gallery's website.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantgimar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
Listen to The Night Shift every Sunday at 9 p.m. on CHMA to hear Luca Capone spin a diverse, adventurous mix of sounds from psychedelic jazz to experimental hip-hop, tropicalia to music concrete, and a heavy focus on Canadian and independent artists. This is a show you don't want to miss out on.
Good friends call me like my dad does. I get older every year, but the landslides. And I've cried too much, I can't cry no more. Yeah, men come and go, so I've had loss. And the boy from my street grew up a bad man, and they don't call me anymore. Who I used to be, all I ever was. I get over you like the last one, and a girl down the street and a man I love. And they all call me, but they don't know what it's all about. And my dad calls me, my good friends call me, good friends call me like my dad does. I get older every year while the land slides, and I've cried too much. Yeah, I've cried too much. Yeah, I can't cry no more. Yeah, I can't cry no more. I've cried too much. Yeah, I can't cry no more. Yeah, men come and go, so I've had loss. And the boy from my street grew up a bad man, and they don't call me anymore. Good friends call me like my dad does. I get older every year while landslides, and I've cried too much. Yeah, I've cried too much. I can't cry no more. I've cried too much. Yeah, I've cried too much. Yeah, I can't cry no more. Yeah, men come and go, so I've had loss. And the boy from my street grew up a bad man, and they don't call me anymore. Don't call me anymore. They don't call me. They don't call me. They don't call me. They don't call me.
And that was Good Friends Call Me E by Ileana Glass, here only on CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, folks. And even before that, we listened to Gemini Sunrise by Midnight Channel. It is 9:26 a.m., which means that we have sadly reached the end of the late morning show. But hang tight. I'm sure you all are going to have a lovely time listening to all the shows that we have lined up for you here at CHMA. Stay safe, take care of yourself, friends. The temperature is not in our favor at the moment. It feels like -19 with wind chill of -22. So it is likely to get warmer. -9 is what we're looking at as the maximum temperature. But let's really hope for the best and hope that the weather sort of gets brighter and warmer and happier. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for joining me today for the late morning show, and I hope you enjoy all the amazing shows that are to come here only on CHMA.
Hi everyone, I'm Bria from Caper Radio CJBU in Sydney, Nova Scotia, and you're listening to CHMA.